It's really hard to believe that that can be born from that. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Don't come any closer. I'm going to point my spine in you. Look at this thing. Oh, yeah, that's super cool. That is so cool. I wish you were here with me, because if you were, you could stick your nose. Oh, man, that's so good. Who needs drugs when you have fragrant plants? I think that if you want to get a high and you don't want to ruin your brain, the way to do it is to get some fragrant plants. I swear they'll get you high. You got to like get in there deep, get a really fragrant plant, and just take a huge hit. Ready? Ready? Oh, feels great. That's endorphins, baby, right there. So, all right. So what are we looking at? Look at this. Look at the seeds. Look at those beautiful seeds. Look at those things. Start naturalizing all over. What are we looking at? We're looking at a Madagascar palm. It's actually not a palm at all. It's just a stem succulent. And what they say about this plant, which is interesting, is it has these leaves here, and you would think it photosynthesizes through the leaves, but the literature says not. The literature says it photosynthesizes mainly through its trunk. I don't know if I really believe in that, but anyway, that's what it says. This is a plant that's native to Madagascar, thus the name Madagascar palm. There's probably 20, 25 species of this plant. It's a Pachypodium. And I swear it's not COVID. I hope not. Anyway, 20, 25 species of Pachypodium, and this being probably, well, definitely the most common in cultivation. Probably for good reason, because it's easy to grow and it's relatively easy. And what can you say bad about this plant? Look at that. I gotta go again. Oh, it wears off pretty quick, so you got to get back in there. And you know how it is. Like the first time you do it, it's good, but you got to keep amping up. If you're fully addicted, like I am, to fragrance of plants. So this plant, I've fooled around with this plant. Not like that. I mean, look at it. Would you fool around with this plant? Heck no. It's telling you not to. But no, I fooled around growing this plant, and I've discovered that it does extremely well in Northern California if you can keep like a roof above it, and it can have some bright light shining in. So I have it at my house in Lafayette, and it is in a C-shaped cavern, basically, patio with a roof above it. There's a balcony above it, so the sun shines in the wintertime, faces south, and they're in big pots, and they look great. Not as good as this one, doesn't have a big trunk, but they've grown there for 20 years, and they look fantastic. They're starting to hit the roof, so now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with them. It's going to be awful hard to pull it out of the pot. I'm not sure how I go about that. Maybe wrap a pillow around it and strap it up, pull it out. But anyway, I also then I kind of felt like they needed to be out of our cold rain to live there. But then I have another one just next to the house where it gets the rain, it's exposed, and it actually does really well. The top foliage will burn a little bit if we have a frost, and the stem might even die back a little bit, but then it just comes out in spring, no problem. Then I put one over at Golden Gate Palms. I actually have a video on it somewhere in my 300 something videos, and it's not as pretty as this one, but it's gorgeous, and it's blooming right now. And so that's also in a pot. What I haven't done yet, and I think I would fail if I did, is plant this down in the ground in the clay where it gets soppy wet in the wintertime. It stays like that, and the soil stays cold. I think under that scenario, this tree would not do well. I'm not about to try it because I don't want to lose one experimenting. But I'm about to buy one that's actually taller than this, a beautiful plant. I'm going to put it in our demonstration garden in the ground. It'll be the first in-ground plant that I have. However, it won't really be in the ground. It'll be a situation similar as this. And what this is an upraised bed here. Okay, now in San Diego, you probably don't even need to do this, but because the drainage is better here and there's warmer temperatures in winter, but it's always a good idea. It doesn't hurt. This is how the plant grows in habitat. It grows amongst big rocks and has really good drainage. So you can imagine if it was raining here, what would happen to the water? The water would percolate down through these rocks and leave. And then the plant, when it has the water, it will suck it up and store it in its trunk tissue. That's why these things are so fat. And so that's why they're able to, store their water and live in really xeric conditions. So they just need one rainfall all year probably, and they suck up all the moisture, and then they're good for the whole year. So this is what you would need to do in Northern California. Some sort of situation where it's either in a pot above the grade, where it could drain out in free draining succulent mix, or if it's not in a pot, it's on the ground, you need to elevate it. You can see it's not elevated in relation to the street, but it is elevated in relation to the drainage draw and where the water would go. It's probably 3 feet above the prevailing grade, which that grade continues to slope. You see they have a few, like a cactus over there, same idea. It's benefiting by the same drainage. So there's also another species that's supposedly even more cold hardy than this. I'm going to bring one of those up. It's called Pachypodium gayi. I learned about it. It has a more silvery, more narrowly. It doesn't look as lush, but it's more sort of artistic looking. And so we're going to bring that up and see how that does. But I mean, come on. If we can grow these in Northern California, here's the fruit. Look, there's your fruit from Pachypodium right there. And as you saw earlier, and you can see the interior branching is really interesting. It's a completely sculptural plant. So I have high hopes. Here's an interesting seed pod once it's been finished. There. So you have 3 different stages. You have that dead skeleton. You have these emerging green ones. And then you also have a fully, ooh, there's one. Look at this big thing. That's pretty cool. That could be a cool arrangement. And then you have this seed pod here, which I might even take a liberty and take some of these with me. I don't think anyone's going to miss these. But anyway, so there you go. Pachypodium lemerii, the Madagascar palm from Madagascar. You can get high on it, and it looks pretty. So those are 2 good things. I think you ought to come down in the nursery. We're going to start selling these, and I got to put it on the website, a little description. It's so much easier to make a video than to type up a big, thing and put it on the web. I have millions of videos and very few things on the website. So, but we have all this stuff, or can get it. So there you go. That's all you need to know. Pachypodium lemerii, good enough for a beautiful wedding, even though it looks like a wicked stepmother on the bottom.